Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Welcome to all new subscribers. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Hope you guys are having some good weather where you can go out there and detail. We're coming up to winter months, and that means a lockdown for some of those that just live in those conditions where it's going to snow, and again you're going to be locked in, not doing a whole lot of detailing. So hope you guys are going to get out there and get as much detailing as you can. So first off, I want to thank everybody for your support, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, watching, and even hyping the videos. I appreciate all that. Continue to ask for that. Again, I don't know what the hype feature does. I don't know how that, I don't see the analytics behind it in terms of any benefits from it. So again, just play around with it, continue to use it. And for those of you asking how to use the hype feature, it's pretty straightforward. I've actually already hyped too many videos this week, but I want to show you the way it's done. So like for example, Bruce put up this video here, and you swipe on the comments. If I can do it, there you go, and it's swiped on there, and you come up with the hype thing, and you click on this hype button, and then you're allowed to just click the button that says hype. Again, it says you've already hyped 3 times this week, so I've actually already used up my hype allocation. But that's the way you would do that for any videos for your favorite content creators. It's sort of like a supercharged like button for it. It's supposed to help smaller channels like myself here. Whether it's doing it or not, again, I really have no idea. So again, not available in every single country, but if you see it, play around with it. Let me know if you guys are able to get that to work. So let's get to the video here. This first part of the video is going to focus more on the technical parts of it. You guys can skip ahead to the actual use. But I'm going to be talking about DIY Detail's Envie Ceramic Detail Spray here. We're going to go over this. This is the mysterious green liquid that everybody was asking. It's like, hey, what is this product? That's what this is. So it's a brand new product from DIY Detail. And so the first thing I want to read here is, I haven't given you the full description of this product before it was released on the October 17th. Today's October 19th. And so I want to kind of just read what this product is about. It says, Envie is French for full of life, and it's actually like envie. It's a mid-term ceramic sealant, 3 to 10 months depending on the use case. It's extremely easy to use, safe for all surfaces, also no PFASs, and it's multi-talented. What it means by multi-talented, it can be used on interior, exterior, pretty much for anything. Envie can be used as a spray and wipe, drying aid, machine applied like a coating, used as a clay lubricant, quick detailer, interior dressing, and more. The other thing I asked him for this here is like, how soon can it get wet? And he came back and said 5 minutes. And he says, how soon before it can be washed? He said an hour. He does recommend to kind of let it set, the longer you let it stay dry, the better the hydrophobics are going to be, and you're not going to interfere with the durability. So, but don't worry if your car has to be sent out and it's going to either rain or something like that, morning dew. Don't worry about it. You can always reapply it at a later time. It's just going to be probably so easy to use to that. So let's get to the technicalities of this product. So I know most of you are thinking is like, Mike, they send it to you, they expect a favorable review. You're getting paid for it. Again, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm getting paid in the sense that this was a free bottle. Now the cost for this bottle here is $22.99, which $22.99 is not a lot of payment from a brand in terms of me shooting the video, me demonstrating this video, and then me editing the video. I make way more an hour at my job than $22.99. So $23 for 16 ounces, $99.99 for the gallon. Now the first thing I forgot to mention is that this is replacing ceramic gloss, so rest in peace ceramic gloss. And so this slides right into that place, and it retains the same cost as ceramic gloss. Now the reason this replaced ceramic gloss is, again, just newer technology. They saw better performance out of this versus updating ceramic gloss to the version 2. Now from a cost perspective, for a 16-ounce bottle, it's going to be $1.25 per ounce, and for a gallon, it's 78 cents per ounce. Now, you shouldn't be using 30 milliliters of product or an ounce when you're going around the vehicle to use it as a drying aid or whatever, a detail spray, some sort of top coat. So what I ended up doing is I just mimicked myself going out in the Equinox, since the Equinox is like a small to mid-size SUV. And I was like, okay, if I missed one here, blah, blah. So I came around with like 24 sprays. And so here it is in the measuring cup. And it's comes kind of hard to see because it's got a little bit of foaming action in here, but it's nowhere near. So the 20 milliliter mark is like right here somewhere. So it's not even 20 milliliters. It's like 15, 10, 15, just above in that range. So again, you're not using a whole lot, brings your cost per use down. So again, you shouldn't be using a full 30 milliliters because 30 milliliters would put you, or an ounce of product is going to put you right around, I can't even see this here, right around this hash mark here, right there. So we're like maybe not even halfway above that. So kind of just keep that in mind, that your cost per use is not going to be that much when it comes to that. And then, if, for example, if I was using this on my Camaro back here, I'm going to pour this back in because this is good stuff. If I was using it on my Camaro, which is a two-door sports car, you know, I'm using way less than that. So just want to put that out there. That's the cost per use for this. The one thing I do want to talk about here is they state that it's a ceramic detail spray on the bottle and on their website. When you're watching the videos, I watched a little bit of their Q&A, and I watched their other video on its multiple uses. They state it's a ceramic sealant. So like, which one is it? Does it lean more towards the sealant, which I think it does because they're claiming it's, you know, that 3 to 10 month durability, rather than a ceramic detail spray. Sort of think of ceramic detail spray like, you know, maybe something like ADS Amplify, or you know, Adams Graphene Detail Spray, or even just regular Adams Detail Spray. So I think this is leaning more towards the sealant side, but again, I don't really know. I think there's going to be a little bit of confusion as to what it actually really is on that. So they say it's a ceramic sealant. They state it has immediate slickness, and they state that it's slicker than ceramic gloss. Here's the other thing that kind of tells me whether it leans more to the sealant side, is they recommend to use it on dry paint. So if I have dust on the car, like say my Camaro here, staying in the garage, I probably wouldn't use this. I'd probably reach for either their waterless wash or their rinseless wash to get that dust, rather than this. So I kind of want to just put that out there, which tells me it doesn't have the cleaning ability that those have. So that's pretty much it. Again, it can be used on exterior, interior, and the one thing, the area that's not recommended to use is interior glass, just that because you may get a little bit of condensation. For those of you who live in weather conditions where it gets really cold, and you get some fogging on the inside glass. So that's just one of the caveats in there. So let me read you what ceramic detail or Envie is. It says Envie ceramic detail spray is an advanced formula that chemically bonds to your car's paint, creating a durable, high gloss finish. It offers superior UV protection, a slick surface, and lasts longer than traditional waxes and detail sprays. Use it on any vehicle's exterior surface for a streak-free, ultra-slick shine. The water-resistant and debris-repelling properties of this Envie detail spray make maintenance simple by minimizing dirt buildup and enabling effortless cleaning. So they're stating that this has anti-static properties. Envie is the best ceramic detail spray for anyone looking for to achieve professional results with minimal effort. And again, you can use it as a quick detailer and a drying aid. So that's the product in terms of technicalities. Let's go out and use it and see how this is. I think the other thing people are going to ask is, how does this differ from C6 Mist? C6 Mist is really just designed to be a drying aid. Doesn't offer protection, but more so a lubricant as you're drying, some added gloss, a little bit of slickness. Where this is adding that ceramic protection on there. Again, you can use this over any ceramic coating in the DIY detail line, 385 or 358 and C6 Hydro Light, or you can use it with any other ceramic coating that you or have on your vehicle. So let's go ahead and try this out, and we're going to kind of just play around with this and kind of just see how it is. And so I'm going to wash the hood of the Equinox with DIY Detail Rinseless Wash. We're going to make this a whole DIY thing, and we're going to play around with this. Okay, so I've actually already have my rinseless wash set up. Okay, so I'm going to flip you guys over. The car's not super dirty because it did rain here, so that's one of the benefits of having a coating, is it stayed rather clean. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pre-spray the entire front end. And I'm going to be washing this entire front end. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of put a little bit more. I need to pump this up a little bit more because I do want to show it on glass. And the benefits is I'm in the sun here. I mean, in the shade, out of the sun. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go ahead and do this. I can show you how, if it's slick or not. Normally I would wash top to bottom. But I'm just going to wash it for demonstration purposes on this area right here. Okay, so I have my sponge with DIY Detail Rinseless Wash in here. And this is V2. And we're going to just go ahead and just kind of go over the surface like so. I'm going to dunk this back in my bucket. The reason I'm doing that is because I just want to go over this one more time just to make sure I don't have any dirt still left on the surface. I'm just going to go ahead and wash this entire thing, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. Okay, I'm going to wash this entire hood here. Take this bucket with me here. Switch hands here. So just kind of bear with me, guys, as I wash this front end here. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to let DIY Rinseless Wash just kind of just sit there. Again, I'm in the shade, so you can. It's perfectly fine to leave it on the surface. Okay, so let's just do that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry some of this just by itself, so that we can use that as a topper in this area. Okay, and then what we're going to do, so first thing you want to do is shake your product. I'm going to open up the nozzle, and we're going to play around with this, number one, as a drying aid. So kind of let me focus on here. And then again, when you mist this, you don't need to put like all these sprays on here. I normally just mist across the panel here, like I was going down. Really just one mist, and then I would mist this surface right here. If I can get it here on the fender, I would just mist one like that, and then here as well on the front, I would just mist one spray like so. And that's really how I use a drying aid. You don't need a whole lot of product in here. So just go over the surface. I'm going to flip this over real quick here. Okay, so yeah, you get immediate slickness on there. Again, I'm just going over this piece first with the drying aid portion, just to show you how it plays well with the Rinseless Wash. So I'll flip this over to a dry side and just kind of do a final wipe. But yeah, that is pretty slick as a drying aid. Because sometimes when you get a use a product as a drying aid, it's not very slick under the surface. Because not all ceramic products are like that. So it's pretty slick on there. Okay, let me just kind of play around with my towel here. So yeah, that's pretty slick. Again, you get that immediate slickness on there. And so what I'm going to do is on this side, which was already dry, what we're going to do is I'm going to get this towel out of the way. And as I mentioned, you just go around on the dry surface. You just need like one spray. If you wanted, say you got a bigger panel, you would just add another spray. Just mist it on there. If you wanted to, you can add a mist into your towel. I'm not going to do that. Again, just go over the surface. And that is pretty slick. I mean, I'm just kind of just pushing it with just my finger. So it's got real nice slickness on there. So yeah, definitely slicker when you use it on dry paint versus as drying aid. So just kind of know that going forward. You're going to sacrifice a little bit of slickness for that. And so what I'm going to do is clean the glass there. Let me just wash it real quick. Then we'll play around with the slickness here. Okay. Just gonna flip it over, and then I'm just washing this area right now anyway. Alright, so let me go ahead and dry this off. And let me clean this off again because I got too carried away. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray onto my glass. Again, just mist it on there. You don't need a whole lot. And you can see it's here. It feels pretty good on there, not gonna lie. So let's see if this twist loop towel, so you can see it does slide down on here. Again, the angle of the glass should tell you, but yeah, pretty slick. So I just want to give you guys a quick look at the slickness here, and that should give you a good representation of how slick the product is on there. So it's pretty nice, pretty good slickness on the surface here. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of how slick the product is. Again, it appears like it gives some nice gloss here. Kind of just mop that up a little bit here. Yeah, it just appears like it gives some real nice gloss to the hood. Again, super easy to use, and it flashed off the glass real nice. That was one thing that I kind of showcased. It's kind of hard to see right now in this daylight and how well this flashed. Maybe I can wash this panel right here. And we can show them this glass here. Again, very user-friendly. Again, I'm not too concerned about durability for me. I know some of you guys are, but the benefit of a spray product is that it can be easily applied at any time. And so for those of you who are going to use this as a sealant, again, just depends on what type of weather conditions you're going to be exposing your car to. You know, if you're going to be going out in the harsh conditions, don't expect it to last very long. But again, the benefit is you can reapply it. As it's just a simple spray on product. I'm just kind of wipe this dry. And the Equinox will be getting polished pretty soon. Okay, so let's take my towels here. And we'll just use this on the glass here. So one quick spritz on there. Put this in my pocket, and then let me fix my towel here. Okay, so we're gonna take the towel here, and you can see where it's at right here on the glass. And so I'm just gonna, and then we're just gonna kind of just, gosh, and it just flashes off so fast. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. It's just flashing off. You can see it right here. If I take my towel, it's right here. It's kind of hard to see. It just flashes off so quick. That's a good thing because that's going to make things a lot more user-friendly and less prone to streaking. So that's all I have for you guys. Again, I'll just leave you with one last time there as the towel kind of drags on there. So that's using Envie ceramic sealant here, or ceramic detail spray. I don't know what they're going to call this. Probably a sealant here. That's using that. You can use this as a drying aid, interior, exterior. I don't have the keys for the Equinox. I can't use it on the interior. I left them in the house. You can wipe down your interior panels here and take advantage, because this does claim anti-static properties. I'll try it. I'm going to try a piece on the dash as soon as I go get my keys, and I'll let you guys know if it does do anything in terms of that. Now, the hydrophobics, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the test panel. I'm going to polish it off, and so I may keep onto this video before I release it and just tag that onto the video just to show you the hydrophobics of this product, just kind of see how good they are in comparison to other spray products. So there's some spray products out there that have some insane hydrophobic properties. So I think I'm going to save this video and just hold on to this in the bag, and then I'll just release a longer video where you guys can actually see the hydrophobics of this. I'll just put on the red test panel, and that way we can see if we're getting any jetting effect on it, and again the hydrophobic. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after I wash this. Or maybe I'll do that Monday. I'll just come home from work early or something, and then I'll do that. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the follow-up here, which I think I'm going to do is show the hydrophobics of the product here. And then we'll wash it a couple times and kind of just see if it's going to last or not. So I think that's a good test as well for a longer style format video. So be right back with that. Hey everyone, welcome back to the follow-up portion of DIY Detail Envie. So I wanted to include this as part of the overall review of the product here, and I put this on the test panel here, which will show you the hood. So I have the red hood out here, and the reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to showcase its hydrophobics. Not many people have showcased its hydrophobics, and when they've showcased their hydrophobics, it's been on top of a ceramic coating, that type of thing. And so what I ended up doing is I polished this hood, and just so that you guys don't get mad and say I didn't use DIY Detail, I did this all off camera. I ended up using DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish, and then I did 2 panel wipes with DIY Detail Panel Prep. So that's what I used on here. And then I followed up with a pretty substantial layer of Envie. And then I put a couple other products to kind of see how it compares in terms of hydrophobics. And so basically this portion is going to show whether it's it's water beading behaviors, and basically it's hydrophobics. Is it more water sheeting versus water beading? That type of thing. And then we'll kind of just talk about final thoughts as we move forward in the process of this. So let me go ahead and flip the camera over. Now it is a bit overcast, and so you can see where I put the tape line. I'm going to take my glass off because of the transition. It's a little harder to see here. So the tape line here is from here to here, and I don't think you can see it on here, but it does add a jetting effect here. I can actually see the outline from it here. That's the width of this here. And so I can actually see it. It has a pretty good jetting effect here. Here I have a spray sealant, and then over here I have 2 ceramic detailers, one here and then one here, which these two, at least this one over here didn't do much. This one, very little, but Envie looks like it has a nice jetting effect on here. And so what I'm going to do here is on the first part, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this wet with just the nozzle on the pressure washer gun, and I'm just going to mist it on the surface, and that way we can see what type of water beading we're going to get here with Envie. So I can actually see the spray sealant box up here. So I'm just going to mist this on here, so you can see that I don't have any pressure coming out of it, just the pressure from the nozzle. And so I'm just going to mist this like so across the panel just to get some beads on it. And so this is what the water beading looks like as I mist it. Let me get my head out of the way from Envie. And over here is a spray sealant. Again, really good water beading as well. Over here I have a quick detail. It doesn't leave protection behind it, and we'll talk about what that is. But as far as Envie looks good, the product next to it looks good too. And then this one looks okay. Again, nothing substantially great. So again, I'll just mist it on here. And you can see the hydrophobics are really good for at least these three right here. Okay, so that's that. So let me go ahead and swap off the nozzle to the shower setting nozzle. I'm gonna put that down for a second, and we'll kind of just see how it looks with that. I got a brand new pressure washer gun. I've been having problems with my active gun, and it was causing the pressure washer to surge. And so I bought the one that Key recommends here. What's the brand of this? Citamil or Mamil or whatever that gets called. I bought this, and really he showcased it, but then I asked Ryan, because he bought it. I was like, hey, is it any good? So he said it's pretty good, so I was like, hey, let me just buy one. Okay, so I have the shower nozzle. So now that I have the shower nozzle, you can see. And then my shower nozzle is starting to clog. You can see kind of this weird spray pattern here. So let's take a look here. Okay, so that's the sealant here. That's the detail spray with no protection on it. And then here's Envie. And real nice evacuation of the surface here. Look at that. And then here's another ceramic detailer. And these evacuate fast. And then this is another detail spray here that claims to offer some sort of protection on it. And you can see that there's really not a whole lot there. Okay, so now I think the last thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to turn the pressure washer on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bucket here, which I have with incredible suds here. I'm going to wash this panel here. And the thing I'm doing here is I'm going to mimic like how many washes does Envie last before we start to see its hydrophobics drop off. So if let's talk about this here. I'm going to flip the camera over so you guys can actually see me as I'm talking about this. So let's talk about this. So if you're washing on a weekly basis, let's just say that our assumptions are going to be this. So if we're washing once a week for about a month, let's just say it's going to be 4 washes, and they claim 3 to 10 months on this. So that's going to be roughly 12 washes. We should start to see whether it's still behaving okay or not. And then if you're washing bi-weekly, you divide that in half. So 6 washes will mimic 3 washes. So we'll see how it's doing with this generic wash test, 10 wash test that really just showcases scrubbing. But again, the true durability for a product is actually using it and having Mother Nature take its course, and then you maintaining it that way. So let me go ahead and flip this back over. I just want to talk to me about that. And so let's go ahead and take this towel, and I just have a microfiber towel, and so I'm just going to wash the surface in here. I don't know if I mentioned, but I have incredible suds in the bucket here. So that's 1 wash here. And maybe I should have take the pressure washer off. Okay, so that sealant that I put on there, looks like it's taken already a hit, which I don't really. Okay, so Envie's looking pretty good. I think just the soap is leaving quite a bit of residue behind. And that detail spray looks like I didn't do squat. So, okay, so those 3. Looks like finally rinsed it out. So we'll just do another wash here, and we'll primarily focus on these 3 here. So this is wash number 2. once I get the residue off, you can actually see it perform. So Envie's still doing pretty good. 2 washes in. Once we get the wash on there. Okay. Okay, wash number 3. Yeah, there's okay, so there we go. And we'll talk about why I use the other ones on here. So here's wash number 4. So 4 washes in. Again, so if we're assuming we wash on a weekly basis, we're a month in for durability. Okay, it's 4 washes. This is wash number 5. Okay. And here's wash number 6. Okay, so this is wash number 6. So if we wash on a bi-weekly basis, this is 3 months in, essentially. And just rinse all this soap off here. And so if we assumed on a bi-weekly wash, maybe you put this on your garage kept vehicle and you wash it once every 2 weeks, you can actually see that Envie's still hanging around, which is pretty good. So that actually 3 months in. Here's another one. So this is wash number 7. Okay, looks like the hydrophobics took a little bit of a hit. Still not bad. This one's starting to degrade here. That one's still doing okay. That one's been gone after the first wash, and so have these. Okay, wash number 8. Okay. 9. And you can see it's still doing its job because we're repelling the soap. Okay, still hanging in there. Here's this 9. And then finally wash number 10. So again, I apologize for torturing you guys with this 10 wash test, but we'll look at this real time and see how this does. You can still see it has some real fast water sheeting on there. Those 3 products right here, really good. So that's 10 washes in. Why the heck not? Let's do 12 just for say that we did 3 months 2 different ways. So that's wash 11. And I'm going to do this last wash here, which is wash number 12. So if you're washing on a weekly basis, 12 washes in is going to be that 3-month time frame. Let's get all this soap off here. You can see it still has some really fast, kind of get the hose in a better spot. A real fast sheet rate, beating those two out easily. Look at that sheet rate on there. Okay, and then again, hydrophobics. My hose just got caught on the bucket, but hydrophobics look really good. All three of these are pretty good. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to wipe this off. I didn't bring a drying towel. Well, I do have a towel. Let's just go ahead and use this here. I'm going to dry this off just to make sure we don't have any soap residue on the surface. And then what I'll do is I'll pop the pressure washer nozzle back on and we'll look at the hydrophobics from there. But okay, so we're going to just go ahead and spray this, mist this down. One last time and we'll see what the last hydrophobics look like after, like I said, 12 washes here. And you can see that the hydrophobics, they're not as uniform as they once were. Again, the 10 wash test really took a hit on all three of these. All three of these look about the same. This one, I think this still looks a little better, Envie, in comparison to this and this. So what I'm gonna, here's what the breakdown was for this. Carpro Echo was on this panel here where it didn't look like anything survived. So I use this. So the reason I like using this is because it doesn't leave protection behind to mask the hydrophobic properties of whatever's on the bottom of it. This guy here is actually pan ceramic sealant, which I mean looks like it did okay. I mean 3 months in, my product's kind of old, so who knows, maybe that plays a part in it. Of course we have Envie in the center, and right next to it is another good product that I actually enjoy using that's pretty durable with protection as a ceramic detailer, is Fine Lab Ceramic Detailer. So that was right next to Envie. You can see that this did pretty good. The water beading looked better for Envie, but that did good on there. And then the last product that was on the far right hand side was actually Amplify, which again you saw that didn't do a whole lot in terms of hydrophobics and whatnot. They were all applied the same way onto a clean surface. So I do want to mention that. So let's go ahead and flip the camera over. And I'm going to set you guys down here and we'll talk about Envie here, final thoughts here, and kind of just share whether or not it's a viable product and something for you to look into. So again, I tested this, so I appreciate the guys from DIY Detail for sending this out to me. And again, one of the things that when people are sending stuff out to me is they expect me to kind of pick apart a product with certain things, and whether if it's not a good performer, I'm going to tell you straight out it's not a good performer. That's just the nature of the business. And the reason I do that is because it's constructive criticism in a good way, right? Well, I want these brands to say, hey, okay, if this person has this comments here, can we address them and fix them in the next iteration of the product? And that's good. I mean, we saw that with Phoenix COD and Hydra. When I just said that V2 was middle of the pack, and boom, V3 comes out, and it's, you know, it's a top-notch product. So that's the way I review things. I'm not trying to say, you know, even if a product sent to me, and I'm not going to just say it's unicorns and rainbows, meaning it's the best thing on the planet. No, you're gonna get the real deal here. And so that's why I wanted to put Envie through its paces, because the market is so saturated these days that every time a brand comes up with a new product, you start seeing everybody, and I mean everybody, you see all these content creators push that product as the next best thing, and then when you previously bought the last best thing, and you're like, hey, am I left out? What am I missing out? Type of thing. And that's completely normal. That's the way that this is done. It's all marketing. You know, it's marketing by the brands. They send stuff out to the content creators that, you know, they trust and it's in their inner circle, and they kind of push the product for them to kind of say, hey, we've got a brand new product, go check it out. So and so put a video out. He said good things about it, or she said good things about it, things of that nature. That's the way that this detailing business is, and that's how most businesses are run these days. Completely normal marketing strategy. So again, if you can't get behind that, because then they have, you know, they send these out to content creators who are, quote, on the payroll, and you're like, is this a trustworthy, you know, review of the product? You start questioning that type of thing, and then in the end, it's like, hey, who do you really trust? Like, who do you, like, in your gut as you're watching this, who do you trust to, you know, to tell you whether this product is good or not? And so that's kind of like, I'm taking that. I'm on nobody's payroll. I'm not getting paid for this. Again, I got this, sent this bottle. It's $23. I make way more than that an hour at my job, and me making this video is not going to make me $23. Maybe in the long term, but in the short term, it's not going to make me $23 to break even. So again, it's a loss even if this was sent to me for free. I'll probably make a couple bucks, and then that's it. So that's kind of like where I wanted to just put that out there real quick before we get to the final thoughts of DIY Detail Envie. So let's get to Envie here. Enough rambling here. So what do I think about this product here? Again, I like this ease of use. I like the slickness it offers. It offers a good look in terms of gloss and, quote, you know, the shine that it leaves behind. People always ask what's the shine look like, what's the gloss look like. And the beauty of this red test panel that you guys saw here on my left hand side here is that we saw that it added a jetting effect, which is nice because that adds depth to your darker vehicles, the reds, the blacks, the navy blues, you know, something like that. On a white and silver car, you're not going to notice that depth, maybe just a tad, but in most instances, you're not going to notice that. Light color vehicles just don't show depth like darker color paint, just the way it is. So we got to see that. We saw that the hydrophobics are actually pretty good. That was one of the things that I questioned when I was watching other videos. I was like, man, that hydrophobics doesn't look great. Something about it is not good. And that's why I want to do my own test. And so I applied it here. I let it sit on the hood for a couple days, and then now I'm washing it. And I saw the hydrophobics. Like, okay, the hydrophobics is actually really good. So that's one good thing. And then I put it through the 10 wash test, and it survived 12 washes. So if you're washing on a weekly basis, you're easily going to get 3 months in. You can see it was still on there. So you're probably going to get about 4, maybe 5 months in the real world. Let's just say in that 3 to 5 month range, you should get that. But if you're going to be maintaining this with itself, it can last a long time. So kind of keep that in mind. You know, from a bi-weekly basis, if you're washing every 2 weeks, yeah, it's going to last longer. Now, how chemical resistant is it? I don't know. I didn't bring out any APCs to put on here. You got to take that into account too, especially if you live in harsh weather conditions. How's it going to survive? I don't have that answer on there, but overall, just for me, just taking a look at this, I think it's a good product. Now, is it game changing enough for you to go and ditch your other products? Absolutely not. But is it a nice and overall a very good product with a very good user experience? The answer is yes. So if you want to try something new that's on the market, is like, hey, maybe I want to look for a spray product that offers some protection behind and some good slickness, a good jetting effect for depth, and a good gloss, then this may be it. I mean, but it's a real solid product from DIY Detail. I don't remember ceramic gloss. Honestly, I only used ceramic gloss a couple times and then I gave it away. I thought it was okay. Again, nothing earth shattering on that one too, but I think this is a real nice product here from it. So in comparison to the clean spray sealant, so I wanted to test it with a spray sealant because on the bottle it says it's a spray detailer, and then there's on the videos they're saying this is a spray sealant. So I wanted to put it against a sealant, and we saw pan sealant. Again, maybe my product's old from pans. I shook the heck out of it when I applied it, and I applied it pretty thick, like I did with all these. But I always had problems with pan sealant not being super hydrophobic on there, and so they want to compare it to another quote ceramic detailer, because this is more like a spray sealant, and they claim that it lasts up to 3 months right on the label here. We got to see that in 12 washes it was still hanging in there, basically mimicking 3 months in. real solid product as well. From a gloss perspective, they're about the same, but from a depth perspective, this does a better job than this. Again, this is more like a spray sealant as well. Slickness, they're about the same on the surface of the paint. Hydrophobics definitely goes to Envie over this, but again, real solid product here as well. And then finally, we looked at Amplify, but Amplify, they always quote that it doesn't have the most durable protection, and they primarily just use it as a drying aid, and that's why you can use it up after every other wash and not have issues with it. They do claim that it lasts up to 2 months, so I didn't really see that. After like the first wash, this was kind of already dead. So again, maybe my product is old, who knows, but that was what I saw from Amplify and on there. And of course we have Echo, and Echo, once you dilute it 1 to 20, you're not going to get a whole lot of protection out of it. So overall, real solid product from DIY Detail. I know this video is kind of long, but I wanted to kind of give this a good go. I was like, hey, I want to put it through its paces. This is what it's going to expect when it comes to this product here, should you go invest in it. Like I said, I think if you want to try something new that offers some good hydrophobics, good depth, some good protection, you may want to look into this. Real solid product from DIY Detail. Like I said, is a game changer and earth shattering? Absolutely not. If you're happy with your current stock of products, just keep using that. I mean, it's not you know, that's completely up to you. It's all personal preference here. I'm not telling you to go out and buy this now. Try it later on down the road. So that's where I'm at with DIY Detail Envie. I think they did a great job to make this a pretty solid product. I mean, this proved to me that it's actually a pretty solid product. Like I said, when I first saw it and I was starting to watch other videos, I was like, I don't know. But now, just kind of watching this, I was like, okay, maybe this is a good product to have on hand. So I'm probably going to keep this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to my brother so that he can use it as a drying aid for his vehicles, because he's always asking me, he's like, hey, do you have any detail sprays or something like that? Because he does wash his own vehicles once they're coated, and we are going to coat his truck again. I'm just going to give him this. It's like, hey, here, go have fun. Super easy to use. He's a DIY guy that he does his own stuff, so I want him to have a real nice user experience. I'll just hand this off to him, and it'll last him quite a long time. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you on the next one. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of DIY Detail Envie. If you've used it, go ahead and post your thoughts down below. Are you looking to purchase this? I know the price is going to offset and it's kind of scare some people away. Again, just if you're happy with your current stock, just keep using your current stock of whatever you're using. But if you want to try something new, hey, this is a good product to look into. And of course, my promo code MiKEGDIY will always save you 10% off at DIY Detail if you want to buy it straight from there, or if you want to order from the House of Rags, MiKEG. And I believe it's eventually going to be on Amazon. Once it's on Amazon, I'll just put the Amazon link, because most of you guys do buy from Amazon because you have Prime. It makes sense. You get your products faster. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Post your comments down below, and I'll catch you next one. Take care, everyone.